Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Good morning. Sangye chedan zoge chanam la janjo badu dane yapson che dage jinso yebe sana dola benje sangye drupa jo sangye chedan zoge chanam janjo badu dane yapson che dage jinso yebe sana ye dola benje sangye drupa sangye chedan zoge chanam la janjo badu dane yapson dage jinso yebe sona dola benje sangye dola sho. Everyone had good rest. Okay. Ah. So, Madhyamaka, Uma Jupa, yeah. Uma, in the English term, Uma is middle. Yeah, I think U is right in the middle, so Uma is on the middle. Then Jupa is to sort of like follow. Yeah, so Jupa, yeah, follow. So the concept of Uma Jupa Madhyamika, I think. Like I said, Surol Paro Thalamin. Surol is this side, then Parol is that side. Yeah, Pa means this side and that side. So Surol Paro Thalamin. So this side, the what we say, Tha is like the end. So neither end of this side, neither the end of that side. Surol Paro Thalamin. So I think this is the combination of what Uma is. Yeah. So when we say, oh, just follow the way on the middle, that means you don't go on that way and you don't go here. You go on the, on the on the middle. So this is the concept that is behind the name Madhyamika. Yeah. So Uma. Then Jupa is to follow, to go. Yeah. So this one to follow. In order to follow, we need instruction. Without instruction, a little bit hard to follow. And this is where the teaching came based on Manjushri's request. So Yeah, Jambe. So Manjushri, based on Manjushri's request to Buddha, to in regards to what we say, discover what true, what we say, freedom is. Yeah. Then Buddha replied, true freedom is freedom from fixation. Yeah, this is true freedom. Without fixation, then you have the ability to, like we talked yesterday. Once you without fixation, then your mind is very wide, and with the wide mind, with the wide, what we say, when your circle is very big, then with a circle, big circle, then you start to see many opportunities and choices. Now, when there's fixation, then the mind is one-sided. Yeah, this is what fixation is. You see something, you fixate on it, yeah, then becomes what we say, becomes less freedom. Yeah, because of the fixation, then your ability, then our ability to perceive things from different aspects, from different angles, from different perspectives, from different views, those do not become possible. Yeah, so the reply is freedom from fixation. Then, how to achieve the freedom from fixation? Then, Tsurotaro Palamin. Yeah, Tsurotaro Thalamin. So, not at the edges. Then, what do you mean by not at the edges? Then you say, okay, there's extremes. Yeah, Takta and Cheta. Yeah, then there's extremes. So, not on the edges, not going towards the extremes. So basically this on the basis of this question and answer, then the Heart Sutra, yeah, we call Heart Sutra, Sharam Nyingbo, yeah, Heart Sutra. So the Heart Sutra came into being. Then within the Heart Sutra, so this concept is the foundation of building perspective of, I think, what we say, reality. Yeah. So it's not to assert. This whole teaching on the view of emptiness is not to assert. What do we say? Assert a new reality onto you. And this is nothing like that. So normally when something new is taught, then it's assertion, right? Okay, this is how things are supposed to be. This is so the teaching of the view of emptiness, the Heart Sutra, is not to assert any new views. There's nothing new in it. And this is what the Buddha said. So the assertion, there's no assertion of new views. Then what does the Heart Sutra teach? Then Heart Sutra teaches to what do we say? To negate or undo, yeah, mistaken views that already exist in our normal life. That one we need to negate. Yeah, this one is what the goal is. So, yeah. So I think today we'll be talking a lot morally on Tongpa Nyi. Tongpa Nyi is emptiness, or the view of Tongpa Nyi. Generally, Tongpa Nyi just means emptiness. Nyi is like assert. Nyi, that one, not assert. Like pinpointing down. Nyi. Right? So Nyi is like pinpointing. So Tongpa, the reality of empty, that one, sort of like, pinpointing that one. So generally, I always say, don't mistake the view of emptiness with emptiness. Generally, when we say emptiness, that means nothingness. Nothing exists. There's nothing. When you say the room is empty, that means the room, there's nothing in the room. So not to mistake with that, then always put the word view on it. So within every instruction, starting from Buddha to Nagarjuna, all the way to Je Tsongkhapa, and then Changse Cheche, and all of this, what do we say? This one, all of the teachings on the view of, on the concept of Heart Sutra, all of them put the word down as the view of emptiness. So the view is very important. So why the reason behind the concept of the view is because the view makes it very clear that it's not the room that is empty. It's our view towards the room that is empty. So we make a little bit of a distinction between that. The room is not empty. Room, there's space in the room. Even if the room generally empty, there's space in the room. That's kind of concept, right? But even though that, then the concept is to put down the idea or the concept that our assertion of what is, our, what we call that, our mistaken view that sees, or that sort of like makes things appear. That is the what we say, the fixation part. That is the wrong view. So concept, I think, mainly to negate that fixation point. So like I said, there's nothing new here. There's nothing new that is presented here. It's to dislodge the old views from the existence that is what we say, that is in our conventional view. So that one, I think, need to be a little bit clear. His Holiness also talks about when every time His Holiness talks about the view of emptiness, that is, emptiness is not empty. Emptiness is not empty of existence. Emptiness is not empty of what we say nature. Emptiness is not empty of function. Emptiness, the emptiness, concept of emptiness, function is there, nature is there, reality is there, change is there. And because all of this is there, therefore it's not empty. Because there's change there, because there is a concept there, because view is there, therefore it's not empty. So then you say, then what is empty? Why are we saying empty, 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 empty? The empty is the dualistic views that we have upon it. That is empty. In the nature, when you go searching for it, then there's non-existence, therefore it's empty. Like I was saying yesterday, when we are conventionally there, when we are suffering, when we are feeling, then very surreal, the feeling is very surreal. But then once you go checking, we study cause and condition, we study the concept of karma. So through that, then when we start going searching backwards, we start to see that, yes, where is it coming from? Then whether it is ignorance, whether it's whether it's from anger, whether it's from hatred, whether it's from all kinds of different mistaken views. So you go chasing, still you go chasing. Even after that, when you go chasing, then you end up at root ignorance. Thongma marikpa, root ignorance, as we say. Within the 12 links of dependent origination, Maripi Tindil, that's the first root, first dependent origination. It arises from there. Then you start to figure out, it's a grasping attitude, the graspingness, the fixation, as I was saying, the fixation and the graspingness. Then we look at the graspingness, the nature of the graspingness. The nature of graspingness is, again, very surreal. It is there. When you have someone you love, then the grasping is there. When you have something that you love, then the grasping is there. It's in its own, seems like it's in its own nature. They say sometimes you put a brick of gold in the middle of the house, it pulls everyone towards it. And that's how it seems. But it's the mind that that perceives the logic point, valuable. Therefore, then then it causes the condition for you to go towards it. Now you give a blind person a brick of gold. There's this story where this in the English we like to use fairy godmother. Wish fulfilling, wish fulfilling Jim, the fairy godmother. So a story about this fairy godmother seeing this poor blind person wanting to help him, then manifests one stone, big brick gold, to help this blind person. So she give this blind person the gold. Then the blind person doesn't know that it's gold. So it uses it as stone to cook food. So I think, anyway, the concept is based on this. So from there, then after the Tongbanyi, then we go through Rangxing. Rangxing is like nature, as we call it, right? Rangxing, nature. Nature samare. Nature. So Rangxing, nature. What is nature? Not nature as in like trees and that, not that nature. Nature in existence. What is the nature of existence? Many religions have their own views. A lot of religion cover the concept of creation. Yeah? What is the nature? The nature is God, creation. Yeah? Concept is there. It is there. And whether that is provable, yeah? Whether that is provable or not, I don't know. But at least it's an answer. And a lot of people tend to stick to that answer. And they get, what do we say? They are, what is the word?
Relief, like they get some relief.
Yeah, they're satisfied. Yeah, they're satisfied with that answer. But then within the concept of Buddhism, then unless you get, what do we say? Unless there's conviction, then don't be satisfied with the answer. So because of that, then research. So through that, then comes the answer of the nature of things. Yeah, Rangxi. What Rangxi? Then within the path, or what do we say? Moinigu color. Anyway, within the part of that as well, the part of the, what do we say, mo is like the existence. And within the part of existence, then even in the nature of the Buddha, the existence of the nature of Buddha within the Moinigu, then ku is like the what do we say, in Sanskrit, kaya. I don't know what is English translation.
Body.
Body.
We usually translate it that way. Body. Body of the Buddha.
Yeah, body. So yeah, so body. So within the body also, then the nature of the body, then lubur timada tawa. And there's many forms. Timada tawa means that is, what we say, free of free of dirt. Yeah, free of stain. Yeah, so timada tawa. Then loburwa is that arises on the basis of conditioning, loburwa. So there's many forms like this in regards to searching the nature, Rangxing, in all kinds of different things. Rangxing, the existence of Rangxing, not just in Ngobo is impermanence, yeah, midakwa, yeah, not just in compilated form, but also in impermanence. Yeah. So the nature of permanence. So within the concept of permanence, also when you go searching for Rangxing, the nature of permanence, then within that then comes the concept of existence itself. Chi. Yeah, chi. In the nature of chi, existence, then there's two parts. There's part that is permanent in existence, there's a part that is impermanent in existence. And because there's two parts, therefore it compiles up to the chi itself being the the source of both. And therefore that we say, okay, the chi itself is takpa, permanent. Takpa mo. Yeah, so the Rangxing, takpa. Yeah, the nature of it is takpa. Takpa is permanent. nature of it is permanent. Then also comes down to the concept of Buddha nature. So anyway, the search of what we say Rangxing goes very deep. If you're willing to research it, you can go very, 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 very in depth in it. So this is Rangxing. Then then comes the Tende. Tende is Tenjin de Orchuma. Tenjin, by depending, then Delwa, then the connection starts to happen. Without dependence, then the connection does not happen. So Tendel, within Tendel, again, you can go researching very deep, because karma is a big karma. I think a lot of people, karma, when we think about karma, then we think, something I cannot understand, or something, beyond, what is it? Beyond my perception. But the concept of karma, not like that. The concept of karma is, I think, if you, the thing I think in practice is make practice easy. The easier you make your practice, the easier it becomes. The harder you make your practice, the harder it becomes. This is the nature of everything, I think. So learn to make things easy. So anyway, coming back to the concept of karma, you learn to make the concept of karma easy. And how do you do that? By bringing in the introduction, the synonyms that I mentioned yesterday, in regards to what we say, in regards to cause, condition, action, continuity. These all formulate in the same thing. Because this one, in the nature, in our own conventional reality, we can already see these things. We can see there's a continuity in everything. In this glass, continuity. Someone first found the, I don't know how did they make. They make by stone or something like that. Clay. Then heated out the clay. Then turn into, put a lot of pressure, long-term heating. Then turn into glass. Then that glass, then they put color, this, then. So the continuity is constantly there. Then one guy buys, then gives to one person, then give here, then there, then continuity. Then until it breaks, until it has a crack, then this continuity of the existence of the glass as it is there. Then once it breaks, then we throw it in the rubbish bin. From then there's its own different continuity again. Maybe it breaks into other pieces. Then one piece goes one piece. Then one piece maybe here throw around, then goes into someone's feet. So continuity is there, right? You start to see the continuity is there. So exact same formula used in the concept of cause, of condition, of impermanence. So anyway, within Tende as well, when you talk about Tenji Deorchuma, you need to have a very clear understanding of the concept of karma, cause and condition. Because without cause and condition, the Tende cannot happen. Dependence is based on change. So that is there. So anyway, these are the things that we will talk about. Yeah. Everyone got this? I made sort of like a day-to-day sort of thing. So yeah, foundation of the middle way. Yeah. So anyway, so coming back to what we were talking yesterday, generally as a person with a mind that experiences, and not just a mind that experiences, but a body that enhances the experience that we already have. This is what the body does. This is what the senses do. Generally, 5 senses we talk about. What is it? Kaza, eye sense. Eye sense? Visual sense. Yeah. So anyway, based on the eye, nose, mouth, tactile, these things, then comes the 5 senses. So through these 5 senses, one of the things is these 5 senses very closely connected with the body. And this one we already see. Without the body, then the senses tend to change into a different kind of consciousness. So we have the eye. Yeah, the eye is one part. The eye organ, that's another part. Then the eye consciousness, that's another part. Three things coming together, depending on each other, dependence on each other's function. Then our ability to see finally comes into place. Yeah, you have the eye organ, no problem with the organ. You have the eye. Then the eye consciousness, something wrong there. Then inability to perceive. And this one is, I think, very closely linked to the, I like to call it the mental organ. Yeah? And generally, I think from the science perspective, I think this is quite easily proven as well from the science perspective, is that the brain is sort of like the mental organ sort of thing. Because you have some kind of accident and some kind of, trauma to the brain, then there's, certain angles, trauma to certain angles of the brain, then have certain dysfunctions in the body. You have something here, then inability to see, inability to use certain parts of your functioning. Then you have somewhere here, then inability to use your hand. So that is there. So I think similar thing. Even though the because the eye consciousness depend on the eye organ in order to function as an eye. The same thing happens with the brain and the mind. Yeah, the dependence on, this is why it's called a vessel. Our body is known as a vessel in the Dharma. Yeah, so the whole concept of changing vessel is going from pardo to pardo, or from one state of existence to another state of existence. Hard to believe in, but if you look at the concept of continuity, then yes, it has to go somewhere. It cannot just disappear. It's impermanent, yeah? Just like our body, yeah? It's impermanent. And because it's impermanent, it has to go somewhere. Maybe not in one piece, but it goes, it goes in small pieces to different places. And just think, yeah? Someone close to you passes away. Then after passing away, then the body, no more function. If the attachment is so strong and you leave the body right there because the attachment to the body is there, then the body starts to rot. Then there's smell, there's all of this. Yeah. So generally two methods. Yeah. One method after death is cremation. One method after death, burial. Burial. Then within burial, I think there's many forms of burial based on traditions. In Tibet, have you ever heard? A sky burial. And they chop up the body to pieces, offer it to the vultures. Feed the vultures. The vultures come down, they consume the body. Then some places they, mummify. Bandage up. Yeah. Then they put inside something, keep it for thousands of years. Yeah, that's also there. So anyway, but then you already see continuity is there. The body. After this Egyptian, now they're discovering this Egyptian big, what do you call that? Tombs, Egyptian tombs. Then people from thousands and thousands of years, maybe I'm exaggerating there. I don't know how long, when the Egyptians existed. But anyway, at least more than 1,000 years, I'm sure. So you have people for more than 1,000 years, the remaining continuity is still there. Even though the mind is not there, the continuity of the body is there. This is impermanence, continuity. Without continuity, impermanence cannot exist. So it's very clear, even after thousands of years, the continuity is there. And with this one is physical continuity with all most of the form still intact. I wouldn't say all, but most of the form still intact. Then this is what we think continuity. If I continue, then I have to continue as I am right now, which is again not the fact. Yeah, when you are 2 years old, maybe you are way high. Big head, small shoulders. But now, grown up. But then still, the continue. You look at yourself, you think. You see, yes, I continue. From 2 years old till now, I am still alive. This is me continuing. So continue doesn't factor in. Generally, our mind, the conventional view, we think it has to factor in that when the concept of continuity is there, then the concept of continuing as it is has to be there. But that's not the fact, yeah? This one, like I said, we can prove through these conceptual, analytics. So from there you start to see, yes, okay, then the body, whether it is in a similar form, intact form, then we can perceive, yes, continuity. But then when it disintegrated, once it's burned, then we think finish, gone, no more, does not exist. The continuity is finished. So we used to debate marme ke je thama che. Marme ke, yeah, you do? Yeah? Marme ke je thama is the last marme or butter lamp. Butter lamp, the last light. Then we say there's no continuity, they finish. Butter lamp finish. So we used to debate, how about that one? Is there a continuity there or not? So anyway, coming back to the point, if it is impermanent, then the continuity has to exist. The moment the continuity ceases to exist, then it becomes a permanent. Right? Because then it stays in the form that it already is. I mean, it is. There's no change. So that concept very, very, very important to establish for the concept, establishing the concept of dependent origination. Now, the whole concept of the 12 links of dependent origination mainly prove that point. This is what is there to prove. So through that, then after that, you see, okay, continuity is not in the form of itself. Yes, you start to see, yes, continuity is there. Yes, I, from 2 years old, big head, small body, small shoulder, from that all the way growing up. Now, that time no hair, now hair, this, that. Yeah, changes here and there. Then you think, oh yeah, this is my continuity. Then the second concept that we need to challenge or we need to work with is in regards to reality of the change. And within when we are normally thinking from the conceptual view, the reality of change is based on what? The Rangxing, yeah, we talked about Rangxing. So the Rangxing of my change, we always think independent. I am growing up. I am maturing. I am this. I am that. It's always the I, the independent I, that is formulating all of these different changes. So here, then, very clear. It's not just the I. Yeah, if that small body did not have the food, then cannot grow. This nature in there. Without being taken care of, cannot grow, cannot mature. Without sustenance, without sustenance, cannot sustain. So the dependence now starting to slowly, you start to see, yes, my body depends on this. Yeah, maybe we think, oh, clothes, everyone has clothes. Yeah, we can all wear, so we don't prioritize. But again, this is also a sustenance. Without clothes, we again have a problem in regards to our body incapability to deal with extreme conditions. Yeah, so all of this, now you start to see external dependence everywhere. Here external dependence, there external dependence, here. Yeah, nighttime you sleep, you don't have a room. Again, there's a dependence there as well. You don't have a soft bed. People in the olden days, some caves you still see nowadays. Maybe if you have been to certain caves, you see they have stone bed with a stone pillar. In Africa nowadays, they still use wooden pillar, wooden pillar like this. They put their head on the wooden pillar like this and sleep. Yeah. Then I remember when I first came to Bodh Gaya, long time ago. That time our pillow, not like the pillow now, so advanced. We have so much luxury. Yeah, that time maybe that was luxury that time, but we had hay. You call hay stick. Straw stuck into the rice bag. Yeah. So our dependence on external thing is still there. It is there. It's just that we have upgraded a lot of the external dependence. Yeah, we have upgraded a lot. So like I said, the dependence is always there. For good peaceful sleep, a good comfortable bed is necessary. And without that comfortable bed, then some people cannot sleep well. Yeah, you might be surprised, but yes, I've experienced. Not me personally, but I've experienced people complaining about the bed not being good enough. Yeah, so these are there. Then without sleep, then function less. And less rest to the body, then the body does not function normally. Then when the body doesn't function normally, then emotional also doesn't function normally. Then when emotion doesn't function normally, then chaos. Chaos erupts, right? Then when chaos erupts, then chaotic actions erupt. So you see, there's a whole chain just to the connection to the comfortable bed. So everything in life, I think if you just think, meditate on it, you start to see the connection, the dependence on things. And this dependence on things we take very lightly, but if you think closely, one small thing affects is what you call in the something butterfly. The butterfly effect, something like that. Domino effect, yeah, domino effect, butterfly effect, something like that. One small change, effect. Yesterday, small thing happened, effect today, whole day. Yeah, so that is there. So this is all in the concept of dependence. Then origination is in the concept of Rangxi, nature. Yeah, the nature of dependence. Well, the origination of the nature of dependence also in the concept of Rangxi. Midakwe Rangxi, when the Rangxi itself is impermanent, then dependence on change, dependence on cause, dependence on condition, these things arise. When the origination, when the Rangxi, the nature is dependence on permanence, then independence of all of that arises. And now we start to see our view. Where does the independence come from? Independent. Yeah, where does the independent come from? The concept of independent come from? If it's impermanent, then the independence shouldn't be there. But the independent concept is there. It's always there. Me, I don't need to. So now comes the concept of takpa. Takpa, permanence. Because Rangxi, the nature is permanent. We feel the nature is permanent. Therefore, we think independent existence is there. But then we are labeling something, midakwa, something, we are labeling something that is impermanent as permanent. Now that is where the emptiness So it comes in. The view of emptiness comes in. Why are you labeling something that is impermanent as permanent? Why are you labeling something that is dependent as independent? And where is this thought coming from? It's not in the nature. That's what we can figure out. Yeah, we sit down, we sit down, calm our mind down and think about things, think about nature, the reality, Rangxin, yeah, nature of things. We already see, yes, very clearly we see, yes, I'm dependent. I'm dependent on my nose, I'm dependent on my eye, I'm dependent on my mouth, I'm dependent on my touch, I'm dependent on my body is dependent on the food is dependent on other people, the other people dependent on the field dependent on the animal. It goes very long. So when you can very clearly see that there is so much dependence, then where does the independent I come from? Where is the independent I that you always, what do we say, conventionally always bringing up? Now that is false. There is no independent I. The independent I is empty of existence. There you can use the word emptiness. Yeah? Make sense? You're getting there slowly? Somewhere near? Very close? So the independent I, the independent I structure. Now we take one step back and we look at this independent I, the conventional independent I. So now we start to see the conventional independent I is not existent in the I itself, because the I itself, the object itself does not have the capability of, what do we say, infringing. The object itself does not have the capability of infringing. Yeah, the object itself does not have the capability of conceptual application. This is the nature. Yeah, I put my hand on the table like this. I tell my hand, okay, you need to move by yourself. It doesn't. It's when the mind connected makes it move. That's when the move is happening. So now you start to see, maybe the independent I is now, some practitioner, they start to see, the independent I, not the body, but the mind. By the way, I'm trying to explain in a very easy way. In the scripture, it goes much, much deeper than that. Madhyamaka Avatara, within that. I think the same, I'm trying to make it the same formula sort of thing, but something like that. So anyway, now some practitioners, they see, yes, true, so true, the independent I does not exist in the body. It does not exist in what I see as existent. Okay. But then this structure of the independent I that does not exist is not true. It does exist. Now they debate back and they say, no, it exists. It doesn't exist in the body, but it exists in the mind. The mind is the whole, what we say, what do you call that? Someone who, culprit, that's the word. Culprit. The culprit of all this problem is the mind. The mind is creating all of these things. So that because the mind is creating, the culprit behind it, the independent I maybe is the mind. Then this approach comes in regards to what we say, Singi Dangni Samdutuba. Or Dangni, what do you say? So the pinpointing of the existence of the independent I is Simgidani. The nature of the mind itself is the culprit behind it. So in some cases, in reality, in practice, if you actually don't go deeper into the concept of dependent origination and the view of emptiness, then actually that actually makes sense, yeah? Maybe it's the mind making all these things up. But then there's a problem there. Yeah? The problem is that if the fixation, what we call assertion, the assertion of reality is within the mind, then the mind has to somehow cannot be changing. This is where God comes in, Almighty God. Because our mind is unstable, every day changing here, changing there, going all over the place here. What is omniscient? The omnipotent, omnipresent, omnipresent. So mind is not omnipresent. Today angry, tomorrow that, today say good, tomorrow say bad. So reliance on the mind, we say. So some practitioners, like I said, within the concept of developing the view of emptiness, then it's step by step. So for researchers, they reach this step where they say, okay, the mind is the culprit, the mind is the independent I, everything else is dependent, but the mind is independent, it just goes around creating. So now then the debate comes out, okay, in that case, how can you rely on the mind? The mind is all over the place. Then this is where God comes in. Maybe it's not my mind. Maybe it's an omnipresent mind. The ability to create, the ability to structure, the ability to form. And to a lot of people that actually makes sense, okay. Now it starts to make sense. The nature, Rangxi, is neither in the object, nor in me, nor in my body, nor in my mind. The nature of creation is in the omnipresent mind. But then again, mind is mind, no matter whose mind. In regards to understanding the mind, then you need to understand the mind's mind, no matter whose mind. The change is always there. So, and unless we can present that this omnipresent mind is permanent, unless we can present that this omnipresent mind is permanent, we cannot formulate the concept of this omnipresent mind being the soul. Why? Because creation and all of this existence, or what we say, independent structure, is not just an impermanence. There's independent structure in the concept of permanence as well, right? Whether it's permanent or impermanent, both. Rangxi is there. The nature of independence is there in our conceptual view. We don't say, oh, only I am independent, they are dependent. We don't say that. If you say that, then you are putting yourself in the position of the Almighty, as we call it. Sometimes we are too humble, to say that. Anyway, so now coming to the structure of understanding, where, okay, in that case, then because the conventional independence exists not just in Ngobo, Mitapa, impermanence, but also existence in permanence. Therefore, the one that is putting down the whole Rangxi, putting down the understanding of nature, that one has to be, or understanding, or what we say, formulating the nature has to be permanent. Because something impermanent cannot create something permanent. Because impermanent, as long as you're impermanent, then you are dependent on cause and condition. Whereas permanent, something that is permanent, no dependence on cause and condition. So how can something that is so dependent on cause and condition, that makes it weak in some sense, right? like we said, something that does not have a, we said, someone who does not have hand, how can create a beautiful, I don't know, statue or something like that? Inability. So same concept is there. So something that is permanent, inability. Cannot create something, something that is impermanent, doesn't have the ability to have that immense, what do we say, nature in what do we say, in making, in what do we say, structuring the nature. So then comes back to the concept again. Maybe we mistook the mind. The mind independent, the mind changing. Whether it's a God, whether it's that, it's always changing. The structure of the mind is changing. Yeah. So now within the philosophy concept, there's two different concepts. One concept is, what do we say? The definition. The definition within something, the existence of the definition within something is dependent on the what do we say, action, and on what it is capable of. So comes down to the mind, then we start to see, generally the definition of the mind is seshirikpa, clear and knowing. Some people call the Buddha nature of the mind. Yeah, what do you call it? Dharma, kaya, what do you call it? Dharma, kaya, dharma. So what do you call kaya in English? Body. So the body, the nature, the body nature. Yeah. So coming down to understanding the body nature is, what we say, is permanent in some sense. That also established within the concept of understanding Rangxing. So you have the four kayas. Kushi, we say, yeah, kushi. So kushi, four kayas. So kushi, the four kayas. Nature of the four kayas changing. Some are impermanent, some are permanent. The permanent body nature existing in every one of us. Yeah, so that one again established on the same concept of Rangxi, nature. So where was I? So yeah, so now coming back to the establishment of the view of what is the view of emptiness. So now coming down, then we say, okay. But then, even though there is action, that does not mean we have to take away the nature of the thing itself. And even though this cup can break, does not mean that we can take away the nature of the cup. The nature of the cup, existence. Even if it breaks, the nature of the cup is existence there. Even if you look at yourself, the grasping, the needing, the this, the anger, the hatred, then the compassion, the peace, the what do we say, the patience, so on and so forth. This existence is there. So now we are thinking one or another generally. This is again from our conventional conception. We always think is either this or it's this. We cannot exist together. Yesterday, Kabirji were talking about what is it?
Suffering and joy.
Suffering and joy. So either suffering or either joy. And the existence, we always thinking, it has its own Rangxing. Because of the concept of nature, we always thinking separate, everything separate. And this is where the separation is created. Oh, dark skin, white skin, yellow skin, yeah, north, east, south, west, wrong, right, good, bad, this, that, all of this is because of the understanding of Rangxing nature. Then we think, oh, one or another. So this one, the three things coming together, Tongba Nyi, the view of emptiness, Rangxing, nature, then dependent origination. You put these three things together, what do you say, smash these three things together, put these three things together. Now you're questioning whether, one thing cannot do without the other. This is Uma, middle. Neither this, neither that, in the middle. So yes, now we say, okay, Rangxing, yes, even though the Rangxing is there, the nature is there. Function is different. Understanding is different. But even though the understanding and the function is different, the nature is same. But even if the nature is same, on the molecular level is different. So now you start to see, oh, is here, is there, is together, is apart, is everywhere. So pinpointing down and saying, yes, it's this, that is the problem. Yeah, that is what we say, assertion. This is the concept of asserting. And because the emotions are so raw, most of the assertion is done from the ego or the graspingness. It's not the I. The I is not the problem. The I is the solution. It's the grasping that's the problem. Yeah. So we think, oh, if the I exists, then the grasping exists. So therefore, the I and the grasping both need to go into the bin. No. We're getting closer now? Huh? Getting closer? Yes. Yeah. So, we will come to that. Yeah, we will come to that. Good exercise. We will come to that. So understanding that the first part is understanding that the I and the grasping are two different functions in the same nature. Yeah, the grasping function is done by assertion, whereas the I function is the nature of it, Rangxing. Yeah, unless we are able to define the differences between those two, yeah, then I think a little bit hard. So anyway, emptiness being the whole understanding of loosening the graspingness to the ego. Then dependent origination, sort of like completes the way or the means to the concept of preserving the meaning, preserving the nature, preserving the action, dependent origination based on that. Then comes togetherness. Yeah, so togetherness, composition, yeah, togetherness. And this is formulated or introduced in the concept of compassion. And this is why renunciation, bodhicitta, and the view of emptiness go together so well. This is why it's called the three principal aspects of the path. Together, then they work beautifully. Yeah, so that is there. Now, tea. So yeah. So, okay, we come back to the point, okay? So the point is that, yes, the I Rangxing, the I of the Rangxing is there. But then the action of the eye is different. Sometimes grasping, sometimes letting go, sometimes understanding, sometimes not understanding, sometimes patience, sometimes no patience. This is the nature changing. Yeah. So now because two things coming together, yeah, two things in the what is a conceptual view that seems to be what we say contradicting each other, coming together. So now you need to formulate a way to deal with it. So this now introduction, clear introduction of the view of emptiness. It exists, but it does not exist. It is, but it's not. Yeah? So this concept coming together based on that. The nature, when you look at each nature, then the concept again changing. The nature of the person, whether whatever condition it may be, any person, you put the nature of the person there. Then the nature of the person dependent on origination, karma, impermanence. Then you start to see samsara, suffering, continuity of the suffering, then lack of wisdom, lack of understanding. Then because of that lack of wisdom and lack of understanding, then three poison arising. Then because of these three poison arising, then again going back to the same circle. So there's nature of suffering. Yeah? Nature of samsara. So that one doesn't matter whether it is someone amazing or whether it's someone horrible. That nature is always existence there. Whether it's a good person or a bad person, whether it's the person that you love the most or whether it's your enemy that you hate the most, the nature is they're the same thing. They're both in the same circle. Our conceptual mind, because we want to perceive the nature in a different way, that's why we tend to speculate things a little bit. Like to put a little bit of, in the Indian term we say masala. A little bit of masala here, a little bit of masala there. So someone you love, someone you like, someone you adore, someone you appreciate, oh angel, oh. Someone you don't like, someone, then devil. This one I always say, in a lot of cases, you fall in love with an angel, then you marry a human being, then you end up divorcing the devil. So the nature in the whole same person, same thing. But then based on the perception, then the nature is changing. And this continues, right? So the whole we are trying to figure out where this change. What is the thing that is holding the change within it? That it takes us so much convincing for us to actually embrace it for the nature itself rather than the imputed nature. Imputed, we say imputed nature. So the intuition coming from all different sides, reasoning, logic, experience. If you had a bad experience with the person, then the nature of the person now for us already turning bad. Even if he does something good, then maybe there's a bad intention. Maybe there's something something going on there behind, or maybe there's something under the table going on. So now the trust also disappeared in between that. And this is the formulation. So this is why expanding the circle is important. Yeah? Buddha say, Lagvekuru, in the palm of your hand. When you're looking at something, anything, then you need to look at it like it's in the palm of your hand. Lagvekuru na yobashin. When it's in the palm of your hand, that means you can pick it up, you can look at it around, you can experiment, you can check, then 100%, yes. This is what goldsmith, you put gold in his hand, then he check, oh yes, it's gold. If you show from the far like this, then maybe a little bit looks like gold, maybe not gold. You cannot define. But then we have this, what we say, assertion part. Ah, yes, just looking like this, little bit shiny. Ah, yes, wearing gold. This is the assertion part. So everything that needs assertion first, before the assertion first, Lapi Guru, just like you have it in the palm of your hand, check well. You need to be able to utilize. And we have, now the very interesting thing is we have this capability to check. But laziness kicks in. Procrastination kicks in. Yeah, then what we call disconfidence, lack of confidence. Yeah, lack of confidence kicks in. All of this kicks in. So when all of this kicks in, then okay, let it go. No need to check in the hand of palm of your hand. So that one tends to happen. Now within practice, I think the same thing. Within every structure of practice is the same thing. There has to be that checking, that 100%, yes, that one has to be there. So that is one part, I think. So anyway, we come back to the point. Yeah, the point is that once you have Rangxing, you have Tongyi, Rangxing, nature, Tongyi, the view of emptiness, and dependent origination together. Now you look at the I, you look at the person. First you look at the person, then you cannot define the person based on the body. Yeah, this is external. Yeah, you cannot depend. The external information cannot be dependable because it is impermanent, because it's subjected to change, because it's this, because it's that. All of these different reasons come. So external. And because it's subjected to change, then also see that the nature, the Rangxing, is not the external. With our body also, you look at yourself, then you say, the Rangxing of the I is not the body. We think the Rangxing of the I is the body, so that's why when we look at ourselves, then we tend to do everything that functions in the exact same manner. It's like wearing a mask on top of your face. Then even though you can't see the mask, you feel the mask is a part of you. Something like that. And in the, what do you say, Japanese tradition, sword, what do you call that? Samurai. Then samurai, they say you need to feel like the sword is a extension of your hand or something like that. So this is, I think, similar to the concept that we normally have. We feel that it's an extension of ourselves, our whole appearance, our look, our that. So that's why the raw feeling of the I existence in it, or that itself being the I, is so clear. So one part of that is searching. When you're searching for the I, then because the I is the nature, yeah, we feel that the I is the nature. Whether the I is the nature or not, then as we go on, we will start to research more into it. But today we keep it at this. Yeah. So you feel that the I is the nature, the reality, the Rangxing, the nature of the being, of the aliveness. So you go searching for the I, because now you start to say, okay, Tongpanyi, the view of impermanence. The view is merely labeled. The view is merely existent based on the wisdom and based on the experience and based on the knowledge and based on all of this, a vast, vast library of knowledge and experience that we have covered throughout our life, throughout our learning. And that one is now the labeling part. If you are taught to label yourself as someone would, no matter what you do, then you're going to be able to do that. Yeah, progression of practice, consistency. That's what builds up the idea. So that is one part of it. Labeling part. So Tongbanyi is based on the labeling part. Rangxing, then the nature part. If the nature, within me, the nature is inherent of existence, then the nature itself ceases to exist. But that cannot be the point. Because if I want to drink the tea, I can drink. If I want to talk, I can talk. If I want to shake hands, I can. This action is there. All of these things are happening. And it's not happening by nature. It's happening on a conscious choice. There's a conscious implementation in each step when they are chawa. Chawa is what? Action. Yeah, when there's action, there's conscious action happening there. So Rangxing. So now when you say, what is the nature then? Something to maybe discuss today. Today you have discussion, daytime you can discuss on that. The nature. Yeah, the nature of object, the nature of thing, the nature of I, the nature of the mind. What is nature? It is, I think, important to establish the concept of Tongye, the view of emptiness. Then Tendel. Tendel is not the nature. Tendel is, what do we say? Tendel is, what do we say? Truth. Demba. Tendel is Demba. Tendel is truth. Tendel is not based on the nature. Tendel is just happening. Whether you like it or not, this tripod is dependent on the ground. It's just happening. And this is Tendel. So you bring these three things together. Tenjin Dewar Chungwa, Rangxing, and then Tongbanyi. These three things formulate a different kind of concept. Now the concept, like we say, there's two parts in the concept. One is aversion. One is, what's the opposite of aversion? Attraction? Attachment, yeah, aversion and attachment. Pushing away and pulling. So something like that. So on the basis of that, now these two things come in. Now, I think basic practice quite easy. And if we try to make basic practice easy, I think it can be made very easy based on the idea of attraction and aversion. This is basic, I think, basic practice, attraction and aversion. When the mind, you look at the mind, when the mind is calm, then attraction of whatever is necessary. When something you attract tends to harm you, harm the mind when it comes to practice, then aversion. It's very, very clear. And this has nothing to do with other people. How we have to take this whole concept out of the idea of practice. And even though dependent origination is there, then sometimes we go over dependent origination, too dependent. Yeah, dependent on what people think, what people, whether people criticizing, whether people labeling. This dependent is useless. Most of our action, the genuinity and the sincerity disappears when this concept comes into play. Then you're doing something in order to show you. Everything becomes more like a play rather than a real formulation. Then you cannot develop in play mood, right? This one you cannot, especially in regards to spirituality, you cannot do that. So that one, this part of dependence, this one you let go because it's not useful, as we say. Yeah, in Dharma, this is the thing. When something is not useful, let go. And this one no one has to tell you because Buddha himself already mentioned, you take that word as it is. If not useful, you don't use. If useful, then you utilize. Yeah. So practice, I think, simplified method of practice is between the aversion and the attraction, and that aversion and attraction depending on that attraction and aversion depending on usefulness. And that usefulness is not useful to look good, to act good, to taste good, not that. And this diversion and aversion is attracted on the basis of development. And that comes down to spirituality. Useful in your spirituality, useful in your spiritual practice or not, then comes the, I think this is one of the easiest methods if you can simplify practice. So based on that, then attraction and aversion, based on that, then logic comes into play. Okay, what am I supposed to attract and what am I supposed to avert? So first, other than attraction, they in the text talk about aversion. And the aversion, now you change the word a little bit from aversion to negation. Yeah? So now comes the negation. So what to negate? What is the stance that you need to take in order to understand the necessary means of what necessary things to negate? Then very simple, because we want balance, therefore we negate the extremes. Yeah. So bhakta and cheta, nihilism and internalism. Eternalism. Eternalism, yeah. Okay. ETE. Oh, internalism. Internalism, yeah. So internalism. Okay. So nihilism, internalism. Eternalism. Eternalism.
The other one exists always.
Yes. So eternalism exists inherently. Eternalism, the concept of eternalism exists inherently. Okay. Then nihilism, then concept of nihilism does not exist at all. Yeah, so the I does not exist at all. Emotion do not exist at all. Nothing exists at all. Yeah, the I, the grasping does not exist at all. The nature of the I, which understands, which feels, this does not exist at all. Then at the end, I do not exist. You do not exist. House does not exist. Nothing exists. And nihilism. Then the concept of eternalism exists inherently. Non-dependent, existent. It's like permanence. Not dependent on cause, not dependent on condition, not dependent on my doing, not dependent on your saying, not dependent on the house. This makes you, it seems like it makes you very, very powerful. This is where we talked about, what do we say? I forgot the word again. Anyway, so that one. So based on that, then I think utilization of this concept can be there, especially in the worldly perspective. You want to achieve a lot in the world, in the worldly, what do we say, arena, worldly platform. Then definitely you can utilize this concept in order to achieve a lot, and it can be done. And I think within the Bodhisattva practice, there is utilization of this existence, inherent existence. but it's a momentary usage in order to attain or achieve certain things that can be useful in the long run of practice. So that is there. It's like, I think I mentioned yesterday, it's like utilizing anger in order to better someone's ability to practice. That is there. Some teacher very wrathful. Some teacher very wrathful, always shouting, screaming, you're not doing this right, you're very precise, very that, very this. And there's utilization. When it comes to practice, well, I don't know the teacher, so depending on teacher, maybe some teacher anger truly there. Then if that is the case, then you need to start thinking whether you should exchange teachers. Yeah, nowadays you go India, Nepal, you don't have much exchange offers. In the West, you have many exchange offers. Yeah, you buy something, then you wear for 1 week, then you don't like, you go back, you can give back. I experienced this in Australia. After 1 week, then, yeah, we take back, no problem. You show your receipt. So anyway, if the anger is truly there, yeah, and it's not utilized in order to develop practice, then it's questionable. Whether like I mentioned yesterday, within the Lamrim, amazing qualities of the teachers are mentioned. This one you must look. So let's see. So yeah, so exists inherently. Then the inherent is also very solid, and just like how we feel, from the conventional level when we think, on the conventional level when we see things, so surreal, so surreal, emotions are so surreal. Surreal, real? No, surreal. What's surreal? Surreal is what, yeah? Oh.
We think it's not real.
Oh, okay. So real. Not surreal, so real. So yeah, so emotions so real, right? Then experience so real. Then the emotions towards the action so real. Yeah, so that is there. So on that case, then the solidification of our experience is what is formulated in front. Then that experience being so real, that one is not attached to the idea on the ultimate level. The moment you apply the ultimate level, then things tend to change, how we see, how you perceive. Today, fall in love with a boy or a girl, then rejection, then pain, that this. Then tomorrow you meet someone, then pain, all gone. If it is so real, then it has to exist all the way, no? You have to take it with you all the way if it's real. This is what solidification is. Solidification is based on the view of permanence. And this is how we feel. We feel like, permanent. How am I going to get out of this? I'm going to have to live with this for the rest of my life. Then, 1 year later, you're free of it, you're partying, you're meeting new people. So the so real part of it completely disappears. So where is the real part in that? Where is the reality of that? Yeah, this is on the ultimate level. You integrate the concept of dependent origination. You integrate the concept of intrinsic nature. You integrate the concept of dependence. You integrate the concept of impermanence. Then you start to see that the whole aspect is changing. And this is why there are ups and downs in life, we say. Ups and downs. Sometimes we feel so full of energy, so full of wisdom. Oh, yes, this is the best. Especially when there's inspiration. I think this happens. And we used to have this, because Gyala, my teacher, Gandhi teacher Rinpoche, when I used to go to, when I was studying then philosophy class, and Gyala's way of teaching was so different from others. I mean, of course, I had other teachers, Gyala, Sangye, but then when I go to Gyala, then Gyala gives me like the chunk like this. It's very useful in debate, and you have something different to say, you have something different to argue, you have something different to debate with. But then you go to a class with your classmates, then everyone is hearing there's nothing different, there's nothing so special. Now everyone's learning the same thing. So when Gyala travels a lot because he was the head of the Geluk, what do you say, Kandin Tiba. So Gyala travel a lot. So when Gyala gone, then I feel like in the debate class I'm sitting there and just listening to people debate. Then when Gyala comes, then I'm getting up. Oh yeah, this. So the whole experience changing, based on the information you have, and then also your own feeling changing also in regards to the motion and actions and so on and so forth that's happening there. Then your own experience also changing, no? So anyway, that is there. What are we talking about? Solidification. So eternalism, solidification. So eternalism based on that. Then another conception that eternalism have is that what do we say? A fixed essence. So this is where the fixation comes in. Phenomena. When we look at phenomena, when we look at things that seem to be natural around us, then we have fixed assertion onto that. So that again going into eternalism. So then the second part, nihilism. Is it Cheta? Believing nothing exists at all, does not exist at all. Then within that, then comes the concept of what we say, assertion that things that are true in existence does not, especially in regards to that, true existence, things that are truly existent, non-existing. So we have ethics and morality. Ethics does not exist. Morality does not exist. That is eternalism. Karma does not exist. Cause and condition does not exist. Nihilism. Nihilism. So, nihilism.
That's where the belief that karma doesn't matter, morality doesn't matter.
Nihilism. So in nihilism, then karma does not. I said eternalism. Sorry. I mean nihilism. So in nihilism, then karma does not exist. Cause and condition does not exist. Then you go further on. Then freedom does not exist. Liberation does not exist. So there, one other part. Then I think it's not just the does not exist part. Here, believe nothing exists. It's not just the does not exist part. I think also in regards to meaningless. Concept is meaningless. I is meaningless. Structure is meaningless. Nature is meaningless. Life is meaningless. Some people have that feeling, like, my life meaningless, I cannot do this, I cannot achieve it. Nihilism. You're falling into nihilism. And this is, I think, a lot of people experience. I've had a lot of people, what do you say, come to me in regards to their life. But my mind, my life, I need to find some meaning. I find my life is meaningless. I cannot perform, I cannot do, I cannot express, I cannot. This is problem. The main problem is coming from the concept nihilism. Yeah, embracing the concept of nihilism. So yes, so not just non-existence, but also in the concept of meaningless. Then you're falling into nihilism. Okay. So, what time? Okay, break. Then after break, we talk about the solutions. We only be talking about problems. Okay.
So,
Okay. Good tea. So another thing to think about maybe during discussion is the concept of inherent. I think, yeah, not inherent in the concept of emptiness, but inherent in the concept of our daily experience. What is inherent in our daily experience? What is inherent in our emotions? What is inherent? Figuring out the inherent part in all of that. Then through the figuring out of the inherent part, then comes, I think, within the context of the view of emptiness, then nothing can be found to exist, what we say, inherently, independently. So that one, now within the view of emptiness, then the view of emptiness itself is that it's not that it does not exist, but it exists on a totally different way than how we see it existing. We see it existing based on the aversion part. We see it existing through the concept of eternalism. We see it existing on the concept of independency. So I think every practice has to be relayed down onto our experience in our daily life. If you cannot experience something on your daily life in the natural form, then taking that idea and putting it into a certain type of practice, a little bit hard. So I think true understanding of the dharma itself. For example, in regards to Tongpa Nyi, in regards to the view of emptiness, in regards to Rangxin, was nature of things, in regards to Tendel, dependent origination. That one you compile together. And then that idea you're bringing, this practice is not for the morning when you're in the Gompa, sitting down. And then you are limiting yourself. You're limiting your practice to 1 hour every day. Practice is, what do we say? Not limiting, continuing, not limiting. So don't limit even the application of the views, whether it be understanding eternalism, whether it be understanding nihilism, whether it be understanding the application of view of emptiness in order to, refine your concept when it comes to nihilism and eternalism. This practice has to be done on the ground. Of course, it helps sitting down in the Gompa where it's quiet, where no one's disturbing you and your emotions, and where you feel like you're being watched by the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas around you. Then there is a little bit of a more of a Okay. Same. Same. So, yeah. So, what was I saying? Okay, better. So, refining refining the means and the methods to where you are applying this, I think the more consistency in applying, the more easier it becomes to truly embrace the concept. Yeah. So in regards to practice, it's all about embracing the concept. It's about not embracing the concept because you have to, but embracing the concept because it makes sense. Embracing it because not just because it makes sense, but because it's applicable, applicable. Yeah, embracing it because you start to see the truth in it, and this is where it is. So, in order to truly combine these into true practice, I think yes, definitely, it's not just within the boundaries of the gompa. It's not just within the boundaries of the center. It's not just within the boundaries of your mind. It's within every experience, everything you go through, that you are able to utilize this. And the whole concept is about utilizing. Yeah, there's nothing there if there's no utilization. The change comes through utilization. The attainment comes through utilization. The freedom comes through utilization. The understanding, the realization comes through the utilization. So the utilization is the most important aspect of it. So anyway, so that is there. So in that, then Nagarjuna, when it comes to eternalism, yeah, when we start to see that everything, when the application of eternalism is there, then we see everything existing inherently. Yeah, everything existing, the solid existing in the solid form, in the solid self, in the solidification of everything. Then within that, then Nagarjuna says, talks about the profound, method in the concept of dependent origination. Yeah, so like we talked this morning. So independent. When the independence is there, then emotion targets the concept of independence. And when the emotion targets the concept of independence, then nature, reality disagrees with the concept of independence, because in reality, dependence is there. And when you are contradicting within the reality, then the problems, that's where most of the problems arise, especially in regards to the self, understanding the self. When the self independent, and then because the feeling of the independence in the self, then the cherishing comes up. And when the cherishing comes up, then the emotions regarding the support of the cherishing view, these start to come up. It's not bad. Sometimes we try to destroy anger from the root. We have to. But also, I think, like I said, practice is all about balance. And this is what the middle way teaches, that yes, anger is bad. In its own form, it is bad. But it's also natural. It's bad, but it's also natural. It's bad because of the action that precedes the anger. So utilization of anger is also taught within the, Bodhisattva's way of life. Utilization of anger, utilization of attachment, these ones also, these are naturally there in the form of conventional reality. It's there. So when it's already there and you can utilize it, why not utilize it? So utilization is also, it's taught, But then in order to utilize first, you need to know how to break it down, because utilization, anger, anger I can utilize. So then showing anger here, showing anger there without the dependence on wisdom, then becomes that's where the whole problem starts to arise. Yeah. So anyway, Nagarjuna describes that nothing can be found to exist independently, and this one introduces very strongly the concept of dependent origin. Dependent origination, I think. Where is this today? Day 2. Language, emptiness beyond concept, there no outside knowing, wisdom, no thought. Yeah, so on the third day, I think we have dependent origination, the concept of Nagarjuna's core insight on how to, how the concept of dependent origination is coming up. So I think this is based on the text. So it's a very well thought method by Nagarjuna in regards to introduction. So anyway, so we will go through this. So anyway, so when it comes to eternalism, then nothing can be found to exist independently. So that is the first thing that it captures, and this is why eternalism is what do we say? What do you say? There's a glitch in it. It's problematic, or because the truth of eternalism is non-existent. Yeah, so the truth of the eternalism, what is the perception or perspective of eternalism is non-existent, because generally two reasons within the text that Nagarjuna gives, that nothing can be found to exist independently. That's one. Then the second one is, if things were inherently existent or inherently real, then it cannot be subjected to change. Yeah, so these are the two reasons that Nagarjuna introduces. I mean, within that, Ripa Gyatak gune jubarze. So Ripa Gyatak is how much? Gyatak. Like 100,000? Gyatak? Yeah? Or hundreds? Hundreds? Yeah, hundreds, yeah. So Gyatak hundreds. So there are hundreds of reasons why not. But then mainly concentrated on two aspects of the eternalism that needs to be dealt with. The first one is on the basis of dependent origination. That is, that cannot be found to exist independently. So that is the first one. Then the second one is, if it does exist inherently, if it does exist on a solid form, if it exists in the phenomena of fixedness, then it cannot be subjected to change. And because it's subjected to change, therefore the eternalism is invalid. The perception of eternalism is invalid. Perception of eternalism is invalid. So these are the two reasons when it comes to eternalism. Now, when it comes to nihilism, how do you say, nihilism or nihilism? Nihilism? Oh, depends on where you come. Who used nihilism? American used nihilism. And nihilism, who used? British. The eternal ones. This is, I think, one good debate we can have that really structures what is the view of emptiness. So, yeah.
Is Buddha nature permanent?
Buddha nature.
Is Buddha nature permanent?
Buddha nature is what in Tibetan? Huh?
Yeah, it's Tibetans.
Buddha nature? No. Buddha nature. Buddha nature is Sangye Rangshin, I think, yeah? Sangye Rangshin, Buddha nature. So, Sangye Takpa. Buddha Takpa, permanent. Buddha permanent. Then, Che Mitakpa. Che is action. Yeah? Action, impermanent. So, Sangye Takpa, Che Mitakpa. Now, Che, action, Che, two parts, okay? Che, action part, impermanent. Che, existing part, permanent. Che Tham Je. What do we say, Che Tham Je? All phenomena. Not that all phenomena itself, but what is Jizo, what is the Ji? Ji da Cheta.
Generality specific.
Generality, yeah. So general form of existence, Takpa. Cheta, then many differentiation. Right? So Chi, when we say Sangye, Sangye is Chi. What do you say? Generality, yeah. Generality. So Sangye Chi. Chi part of the Sangye, the generality part of the Sangye is Takpa. The reason why the nature of the generality of the Sangye is Takpa, because within Sangye, then there's Tak Mitak, the two parts. Yeah. So when you talk about the four kayas, how do you say English? Khalsan, Kushi. Ngoinigu, Ishugu, Longu, Tugu. Yeah, the four kayas. So within the four kayas, then the true nature of the mind of the Buddha, that one is Takpa. That exists in every one of us. Yeah, we say. Right? The true nature of the mind of the Buddha exists. This is the Sichi Ripa part. When you go to Dzogchen practice, you talk about Ripa. What is that? The true nature of the mind is the Buddha mind. Sichi Ripa. That one is Takpa. That exists. Even though temporarily there is, we say temporarily what? Obscuration. Temporary obscuration is there, but in nature, Seshiripa. In nature, clear and what do you say? Knowing, clear and knowing. That nature is existing throughout. Throughout this life, next life, next life, next life, next enlightened mind. So that one Takpa. That is permanent. Yeah. Then Rangshe Midhapa. Yeah. Then the nature of impermanence is Chogu. Right? Tugu. Yeah? Tugu is when Buddha come down and manifest the 12 deeds. There's Tugu. That is in action. So that part is what? Impermanent. So Buddha nature, two natures in Buddha nature. Yeah, one Buddha nature, then one Buddha nature. Makes sense? Defined. But if you talk about Buddha, not the Buddha, but the Buddha as in the essence Buddha, then that one is what? Generality. That one you have to say Takpa. You have to say permanent, because it has two divisions there.
I think I should have phrased the question. No. Should have said. I think I should have phrased the question better. I should have said the Buddha nature of the mind, is the Buddha nature of the mind permanent?
Buddha nature of the mind, yes. Buddha nature of the mind permanent. This is what is Buddha nature of the mind. This is what the Buddha nature of the mind is existing in us, everyone, even now, inherently there. Because the inherent part of the Buddha nature, mind of the Buddha nature, or the Buddha nature mind, because that is there, that's why enlightenment is possible. If not there, then enlightenment becomes impossible. Yeah? Okay?
Is it permanent because the quality doesn't change? It's like changing moment by moment, but within the same quality? Is it because
no change? Permanent because there's no change. If there's change, then it cannot be permanent.
So then it cannot perform a function. Then the Buddha nature cannot perform a function if it is permanent.
Definition cannot perform function. Yeah, the thing perform function. Yeah. So I say Kabir ji perform function, but the definition Kabir ji is just definition, cannot perform any function. So Buddha nature is like the definition of the mind. It's its own nature. It's like definition. That one, there is no function there. Yeah.
So by hearing the name today, some people are happy, some people are sad.
This is where the eternalism and nihilism come. We think we don't differentiate. We think Kabir ji is the name Kabir ji. Yeah, we don't differentiate. Yeah, I say, oh, the person with the long beard, then person with the long beard, we think is not to do with the defining. There's no differentiation between that. Yeah, the name, if someone says, oh, Peter, then Peter, the person, we associate completely with the person. But what after the body disappeared? Then where's the Peter? This is where emptiness comes into performance, so that you can really define where we are actually. Yeah.
Yes, and when it comes to then enlightenment, is enlightenment permanent?
Enlightenment?
Yes.
Yeah, enlightenment permanent. Your enlightenment not permanent. So again, chi, when you go to chi, generalization, then enlightenment also, I think, can be, whether it's on the defined part. If it's on the defined part, then it's permanent. But if it is on the enlightened, as in the achievement of enlightenment, then that has to be impermanent, because that is achieved. And when it's achieved, then it's subjected to change, meaning that it is something that you achieved, meaning that you did not have it before and then you had it after. It is subjected to change. Make sense?
So my question is not directly related to what they were asking. Can I ask another question?
Yes.
Okay. So I heard you saying solidification is eternalism. But I feel I heard you wrong, because you were mentioning solidification of experience is not real. So it should not be part of eternalism. So my question is solidification part of eternalism or not?
Yes. So because eternalism is the whole concept of the middle path is that eternalism and nihilism both do not exist. And because we make them exist, that's why the problem is there. That's why the middle way comes into play. So solidification is eternalism, and therefore it does not exist.
Solidification is experience. Experience.
It seems real.
Experience is never real, because we are just experiencing it.
Yes.
It's not a reality. I mean,
Yes.
my personal experience of emotions or anything is not real, because this is very subjective.
Yeah, so it's not real. It feels real. Though it feels real, it's not real. Therefore, it is eternalism, and therefore it does not exist.
So by meaning of eternalism, I understand something permanent. Eternalism is synonymous with permanence. That's what.
Yes.
So how can solidification can be permanent? Because
No. Eternal is permanent. Eternalism is the concept of applying permanence. There's a difference there. Yeah. Eternal. If I say, oh, you are eternal, then this is permanence. But eternalism is not the thing, it's the mind. This is where eternalism comes.
Eternal and eternalism.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Okay.
Eternalism is subjected by the mind, and therefore, because it's subjected by the mind, therefore it's something that is created by the mind, even though it does not exist.
It's a bit confusing, but I'll wait.
Similar to nihilism.
Yeah, opposite of nihilism.
It's a philosophical view.
Yes. So when you say nil, then means no. Nil, right? No. No. Huh? Yeah, nothing there. But nihilism is not that nothing is there, it's that you're believing in nothing is there. You're projecting that nothing is there. You're conceiving that nothing is there. Yeah, so that is nihilism. It has the ism has to do with the perspective, application of perspective. So now you're saying we are working with the perspective how you are seeing it, because you are seeing it in that way, therefore it does not exist. Even though it seems like it's eternal. Yeah, nihilism, the experience of nihilism, experience of eternalism is that you're experiencing eternity. Yeah, you're feeling eternity is there, but it's the feeling, it's not the eternity. So yeah, difference, yeah, definitely there.
Okay, on the similar topic, like on the same topic, just to reiterate, solidification means that it's the view of applying permanence. So that's why we're thinking that the emotions, even though they feel real, we think that they're permanent.
Yes.
But then I'm thinking on a physical basis, energy can only be transformed and is continuous. So emotions, also sensations in the body, is energy. And that energy is continuous. And energy that is continuous also then is impermanent, no? Isn't that a contradiction?
Yeah, you say it continues, but then you say it's permanent. Continuity is based on the subject of change.
Yes, it changes, like because energy
Yeah, then if
transforms.
it changes, then it cannot be permanent. It has to be impermanent.
Yes, that's what I mean, because when something is then impermanent.
Yes, and because it's impermanent, therefore you cannot perceive it as permanent. Yeah, because it's permanent, therefore it's not. Because it's impermanent, therefore it's not fixed. Because it's impermanent, therefore it's not solid. Because it's impermanent, therefore it is subjected to change, and therefore eternalism does not exist. Yeah, something like that.
Very cool. About emotions, you said that in our daily practice we could break down emotions in order to use them. Can you say something more about that?
So nature, back to nature again. Nature of emotion is impermanent. It changes. One day good, one day bad, one day happy, one day sad. So, but then the emotions that you are subjected to, which is subjected to change, thus the emotions that you feel, which are subjected to change, that you feel, is the realization of the change that is not there. And this is where the eternalism comes, solid, it's formed. And we feel like, yes, it's there, it's bad. It's, anger, when you feel anger, then the hatred very strong there. So if I anger with a person, then I say, I'm never going to talk to this person ever again. This is our first reaction, harsh reaction. But then you contemplate a little bit later, then you see your own mistakes sometimes. Yeah. First you don't see your mistakes, so then blame starts there. Then I'm never. But later you see your mistakes. Then slowly, through the mistakes you see regret. Then through the regret, then you ask for forgiveness. Then change. So that change is there. Utilization is, I think, utilization of wisdom. Yeah. Emotion combined with wisdom. That is not like anger combined with wisdom is not true anger. Anger combined with wisdom of compassion is actually compassion, it's not anger. Yeah. Sadness combined with the concept of forgiveness. Yes, Kapilji?
Is something wrong with saying that emotions are energy? They're forms of energy. That's why they can be used.
This
in
different.
the sense that they are wind, they are energy.
This, yes, this one I didn't want to bring out, but then yes, definitely there is a little bit of a concept in regards to what energy truly is and what feelings are. Feelings generally, when it comes to the mind, feeling is expression of the mind. And feelings are part of the mind, sort of part of the mind. Yeah, when you study mind and mental factors, then within the secondary formulations of the primary structure of the mind itself, then feelings come out. So feelings generally, I think, not considered in the concept of energy. Well, production of energy.
How can they be transmuted into wisdom if they are not energy?
Wisdom is also not energy. Yeah. wisdom is not energy. Wisdom is application of the compounded, also compoundness of knowledge, of experience, of many different things. That's, I think, wisdom. Yeah. So the more understanding you have of something, the more wise you are. We normally say this, no? Right? The more experience you are, the more wise. The more study you do, the more wise, sort of thing. And that comes from the richness of information that supports. And
so the early publication that came out many years ago, before wisdom publications, something came out, Wisdom Energy, teachings by Lama Zopa Rinpoche and Lama Yeshe. So that's kind of title is not so good, Wisdom Energy. It's kind of new agey or what?
I think energy can be produced through wisdom. So that is there. Energy can be produced out of emotions. That is there, I think. So I don't know how exactly to define energy, because energy is used in many different forms. And people experience energy in many different ways as well. Like, electricity, for example. We can, it's more of a molecular energy. But then we say, oh, I have vibes. You heard the word vibes. Now there's a trendy word. There is, a good vibe, bad vibe. That also, I think, to do with energy. But then that one is not on the molecular level energy. That's on the experiential level of energy. So that energy, again, seems a little bit different from the, the energy we normally talk about in regards to light and all of that. But then there's, again, a concept of sixth sense. And in that regard, now energy is again completely different. It's neither experiential, neither vibe, neither molecular. It's sort of like, what do you call that? Omniscience or intuition? Yeah, that to do with intuition. Now that energy, again, different from all three. So I don't really know how exactly to define energy. I think that depends a lot on in the case of where you are using, right, the word. So energy changes on the basis of that. So the production, in regards to production of energy through wisdom, through anger, through hatred, through emotions, that one, I think, very clearly can be experienced, experiential energy. So when you talk about experiential energy, then definitely can be created through emotions, through the concept, through the mind, through the development of mind, through development of understanding. So wisdom, utilizing wisdom to energy, to produce energy, that is there.
Japanese scientists have proved that mental factors like love and hatred have effect on the molecules of water. So obviously on the molecules within our body, because they are mainly water.
Yeah, we are talking about that yesterday, I think, yeah? So that one, I think you can relate it to energy, yes, it's an easy way. But then also, I think more clearly, because energy, like I said, for me is a little bit, I can't really sort it out exactly. So instead of relying on energy to sort that out, I think more on the conditioning. Conditioning aspect. So dependent origination, for example, is such a beautiful way to actually, to the relationship between those. Yeah. So cause and condition, dependent origination. These are more way of developing that path to understanding how the effect happens, rather than putting it onto energy. This is my view anyway. I don't know how in the scripture how it is, but this something like that, I think.
So, kind of subject of permanent and impermanent. And just for my clarification, sometimes you hear in Dharma classes, nothing is permanent, right? Everything is impermanent. But then you mentioned like Rigpa, Buddha
Yes.
nature of mind is permanent.
Yes, yes.
So is it nothing is permanent except X, Y, Z?
No. There is permanent there. So there's Che, then within Che, then depending on different schools, then Lo, Rigpa, Shepa defined into three. No. Pembo, Shepa, Demidije. No. Because Midakpa, Takpa. So within Che is what? Existence, right? Within the existence is Chi, generalization, existence. Then there's two parts, Ngobo and Takpa. Tak midak, Takpa and Midakpa. Permanent, impermanence. Midakpa, impermanence, Takpa, permanent. Within Midakpa, then three categories. Pembo, Sheba, Temidije. I mean, depending on different schools, there's different categories. But generally, Pembo is Duldutuba, what we say, compounded phenomena, Duldutuba. Sheba is the mind. Temidije is neither the mind nor compounded phenomena that is there. These are impermanent. Then Takpa, then permanent. So not that everything is impermanent. I think generally when we say all things are impermanent, then all things that are subjected to change are impermanent.
All conditioned.
Yeah. All things, conditioned phenomena, all things that are subjected to change. Now that one, they're impermanent. Yeah, compounded.
And that's where you get the birthless, deathless.
Yes.
I also handled emotions most times as form of energy.
Yes.
So when I go through your logical sentences, so it's just an emotion arising in me, it's just dependent origination.
This again a little bit hard. You can't say just.
Yeah.
Of course, a dependent origination is what do we say? It's like cause and effect. It's a method. It's a what do we say? Sort of like dependent origination basically means that it's dependent, and definitely it's a dependent origination. Emotion, feeling, everything dependent origination. Everything that is subjected to change, dependent origination. And this is the logical side of it. But only dependent origination, that one, if you go from the philosophical perspective, yes, only dependent origination. There's nothing independent in that one, right? In the feelings, in the changes. But then, like I said, from the conventional perspective, then can be independent because the experience is of independence. Now, whether that is true or not, that one, now again, you have to, like I said, the whole text on Madhyamaka is, well, you have to see whether the feeling of independence is actually true or not. So this is subjected to, of course, your own understanding and of course your own practice, the feeling. Yeah. But then in reality, from the what we say conceptual side, from the not conceptual, from the logical side, analytical side, then totally dependence. Good.
In physics, we would say that energy does not get produced, it just only gets transformed. It doesn't appear or disappear. But different energies have different ways of, they can be used or not used depending on how they are, but the energy keeps transforming. So I don't know if that view helps, but also when it comes to emotions, I think there is more of a perception of that is almost like information. with a lot of energy, but more information that gives access or gives meaning, so that frees or binds us in a certain way, but it's more perhaps in the realm of information.
Yeah, through physics, then it's what do you say, motion and what do you call it? Motion and
Ability to do work with that.
yeah. No, there's a word, motion, force and motion. Yeah, physics all about force and motion, movement based on the force and motion. Yeah. So transfer, when you talk about physics, then transformation of energy. I don't know if physics use the different kinds of energy that we talked about. Generally, physics use energy in the concept of motion and force. Yeah, based on the force, based on the motion, then force produce. Based on the force, then reaction. Yeah, so transfer is based on that. What do you call this? Pendulum. Yeah, so something like that. You know, you put one, then the motion and the force, then energy. Yeah, so something like this, I think. So this is why I said energy is a little bit confusing, and everyone uses energy in different ways. If you go from the physics point of view, motion, force, then if you biological point of view, energy different, then chemistry point of view, then electrons, separation of electrons from the what do you call, protons and neutrons. So different kinds of this one. That was a question?
No, it was just an.
Oh, yes. So yes, yeah, like you said, energy, I don't know, people use energy, the word energy in different ways to explain something. No? So this is why I kept it very open, a little bit hard to pinpoint down. But definitely this can be something you can discuss on, you can debate on, talk on. Yeah.
I think the point about the physics of the energy can't be destroyed it illustrates your point that of the continuity.
Yes.
Of phenomena. Yeah.
Hello, Rinpoche. I don't really know how to ask the question, but we're told all these things about how things exist, like things exist interdependently, relying on causes, impermanent, dependently origination, not inherently existent, all these things. And then we're also told that we perceive things different to that. So for me, it's kind of easy to, not easy, but it's possible to kind of analyze the logic of how things exist, but then it's difficult for me to kind of come into contact with how I perceive them. It's difficult for me to become aware of that I am perceiving things in a different way than that. So how to kind of come into contact with how we see things. That does make sense?
Yeah. I think experientially, everyone have different way of seeing things. Yesterday I told, we all, even though we all humans, even though we all in samsara, then our experience, whether it be our experience of the past, whether it be our experience of the present, or whether it be our goal to develop kind of specific experience in the future, these things change our experience, no? And then also, like I said, if someone comes from a traumatic background, then experience a little bit traumatic, then also, if then some people apply wisdom, then the trauma also dealt with in a good way. Then if not, no wisdom, then trauma the experience dealt in a different way. So to truly know your own experience, this one only you can say, right? How I am sitting here and how I'm experiencing this this community here. This is my experience, and not necessarily this experience everyone has. And then my emotions also experience it different. If I'm very attached to my mother, then my mother up there, I'm here, then there might be some missing. This is other, again, emotional experience, right? And then if I'm running away from something, then I feel more free here, or relaxed. So that's my experience again. So I think personal experience is a little bit hard to pinpoint down. But when it comes to your own experience, I think the generalization of, if you look at generalization of all the different experiences, then the experiences normally in the concept of applying this concept of this one of the what is a Madhyamaka, then it's on the basis of eternalism and nihilism. Yeah, which one you put where is different, but generally is on that. Yeah.
But how do I know that I see things as permanent, that I see things as independent, that I see things as having no causes?
So yeah, so when, for example, if I give you example, you look at the eye. Yeah? The eye, and when you look at the eye, the nature of the eye, the me, you look at that nature, then the nature of that is always changing. And sometimes the eye is very peaceful, happy, relaxed, have a good day. Sometimes the eye is in its own thoughts, in its own emotion. And sometimes the eye just angry there. Then sometimes the eye feeling compassionate everywhere. Yeah, this is changing there, everywhere. Right? So you see a bird yesterday, then oh, yeah, some kind of feeling there. Yeah. So the eye, the emotion, the eye dependence is changing on the eye all the time. And then you start to see the structure. Oh, my change is dependent on things. Yeah, my all is dependent on seeing a bird, broken arm, leg. It's dependent on that. Otherwise, this compassion now doesn't arise. Yeah, the eye to the grasping, the attitude is based on the attraction there. Right? So you have a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, then the attraction there, then the desire there, then attachment there, then the I react in that way. Then you place that person with your enemy. Then your reaction changing, hatred, anger, and aversion. So to pinpoint down with one single experience is hard. And this is why you understand, change, continuously changing here and there, everywhere. And this change is not just one-time change, it's continuous, over and over and over and over and over and over again. Even the loved ones, today, this is a loved one, tomorrow, that is the loved one, day after tomorrow, the loved one also change. Compassion also change. First, a lot of people first come to Bodh Gaya, they see all the beggars. So compassion, then they give. Then tomorrow, a few beggars come, they're holding your leg, they're pulling your money, you have your hand money, they're pulling. Then compassion change again. So based on the dependence, then the kind of changing. But then if you don't think about the dependence, when the dependent origination part is out of the picture, then it feels real, so real. Yeah, it feels so real at that point that you're experiencing. The aversion, the attraction, the need, the greed, and the compassion, the love, the forgiveness, the patience. This is there. It's just that it's not continuing. It's ever changing. Today, you feel patient to someone. After 10 days, you don't feel patient anymore. Nature is changing in that part. But then we need to understand that the nature is in it. This is the problem. We don't think about the nature being in it. We don't think about the nature of the change being in it. This is where a lot of people go into depression. This is the experience I had and it's never going to change. This is where people suicide. I can't change anything. I'm stuck. Yeah, I feel so low. Yeah, then comes to the problem where you say, I don't see any solution. Concept of nihilism. Something like that. Make sense? So, yeah, on the basis of your experience, how you see it, then your emotions, how your emotion reacts to it, then based on the emotion and seeing, then the experience, how you experience it. Now you start to see the structure of eternalism and nihilism. Yeah, how you are reacting to it normally, I, because of the I. The importance is there. Like I said yesterday, I told you the story of the Buddha. And looking after the I is important. But then that I becomes above everything, above everyone, above, then the power. So these, you start to see that are the core manufacturing the experiences. Then dependence on the experience is the other thing, I think. Once you have the experience, then we're dependent on the experience. This is where I think a lot of drug issues come. Yeah? One experience to experience, then dependence becomes solidified. But then again, like I said, the whole dependence is coming there because you don't see the structure of dependent origination. You don't see, even though the structure is there, we know it's there. This is very, very, if you take one step back and you look, you'll see it's there. But while there, that's where you don't see. So that one, to break the point at that point is, I think, also an experience. Make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Having good class. Enjoying, good. Must enjoy. Okay, so I think we stop now. Lunch. Yeah. Okay. Lunch. Hungry? Okay, we have lunch, then I see you back here for, you're having discussion today? No? Yes, okay. So I think you have a lot of points to talk about in regards to discussion today. A lot of the questions, I think amazing questions. So these ones also can be explored even deeper, especially with Sangha. Yeah? Like I said, the support of Sangha is really important. So in the Sangha, then explore these questions even deeper. Yeah, anyway, a lot of things we discussed today that you can explore. So enjoy your discussion. Then I see you for, okay. Thank you.